has said there will be no job losses for government employees affected by the merger and reorganization of 42 state corporations. This follows fears that the merger of the 42 state corporations into 20 agencies will lead to major job losses as the government strives to cut down on public debt and duplications in public service. The move by the cabinet, due to pressure from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is seen as a way to save taxpayers' money. But will this move really reduce public spending? Grace Nganga interrogates.
President William Ruto has allayed fears of job losses a day after the cabinet resolved to merge and dissolve some state corporations that have overlapping roles. The move, aimed at cutting costs and improving efficiency, has sparked concerns about potential layoffs. Through his X handle, State House spokesperson Hussein Mohammed clarified that all staff in affected institutions will be absorbed into the public service, insisting that no jobs will be lost, and I quote, "No state corporation function will be lost, and no jobs will be lost, as all affected employees will be absorbed into the public service. This is in line with the commitment to streamline government operations, reduce waste, and curb excesses. The reforms will address operational and financial inefficiencies, enhance service delivery, and reduce reliance on the exchequer." End of quote. However, question remains how Ruto intends to save cost by retaining the staff of the merged corporations.
It may not make sense to the employees that are affected in the first group. That is the group that is to be merged, the 42 parastatals that are to be merged into 20. For the simple reason, the justification of merging the state corporations is basically because of to eliminate the duplication of roles. So it does not make sense if the government is persuaded of this view. It may not make sense even retaining some of these people. The government's balancing act coming into play because they may not sort of shove them away easily. So they just want to have them have some soft cushion or not.
Although Treasury had projected to save more than 2.3 billion shillings from proposed mergers of the state corporations in the first phase of restructuring, Ogutu says the move will only affect administration and office equipment, among others, as staff will be accommodated elsewhere.
The budgetary allocation to parastatals, close to 343 of them, were over 1 trillion Kenya shillings. So you have over 1 trillion Kenya shillings equivalent that is now being made to the parastatals. Yet the government is coming and saying that savings will come to 2 billion shillings. So that is a drop in the ocean. And more so, if you look at the scope of the parastatals that are being affected, the announcement that came yesterday, there are just 71 of them. Yet the total universe of the parastatals is close to 340 of them out there. So a significant number of the parastatals are not affected, and yet the parastatals that are being affected, I mean, if you can just get 2 billion out of it, it's too much to get little.
In his quest to cut public spending, Ruto and his cabinet adopted the proposal of scrapping off 9 state departments with duplicating functions, with their functions transferred to relevant ministries or other state entities, with a merger of 42 entities to 20, after most of them struggled to meet their contractual and statutory obligations, leading to an accumulation of pending bills amounting to 94.4 billion shillings as of March 31st, 2024. Grace Nganga, KTN.
Thank you very much, Grace Nganga, for that report. Now, following the most recent changes in government, particularly in reference to the parastatal shakeup, we ask you on our big question tonight. Do you think the merger of state parastatals will reduce public expenditure? Do you think the merger of state parastatals will reduce public expenditure? Engage with us by sending a yes or no answer and a brief explanation as to why to our toll-free number 22151. That is 22151. You can also tag us on X at KTN News KE, at Doris Anki. The hashtag is NewsHour, and we will sample your feedback throughout this live bulletin. Coming up after the